Yo, what's going on? Is Rodney G. It's something with the PNB Rock story that I think deserves attention that I don't think anybody else is really focusing on. We have a situation where you have a man and his son and his wife all involved in the crime. And I'm noticing that in the media, people are telling the story as if they're kind of surprised, as if this is something that's beyond normal, which in a sense it kind of is beyond normal because we don't really see that many crimes with a family, especially with a murder, right? What I'm saying is that people almost kind of surprised as if this why would a man with his son engage in this type of behavior, you know? And what I believe is was what people are missing is that yes, you have a man and his son, it's a father and a son and his wife and so forth. But just because someone is a father, just because someone is an adult, does not necessarily mean that that person is mature. And now we have a problem in society where because people don't respect the certain rules, the universal, timeless laws and values that go back into, as old as mankind himself. People don't respect these things anymore. They don't respect God. They don't respect religion, tradition, family, and all of the things that come into play with these values. Therefore, people grow older, but they don't mature. So the flesh, the body's traveling through time and space in this life, this mortal life. But the soul, the person, that's actually the object of the whole life. And if the people, the souls, are not growing, are not maturing, then, you can't really give a person credit for being a father just because he's 40. And I just looked online and saw that the guy was 40. And that's what it made me get on here, even though my channel is still under construction. But I felt like I had to put this out here. Same age as me. I know I might look 27, but no, I'm the same age, 40. I got a daughter the same age as this killer, right? And I hear in the media when people report the story as though like, well, it's a father and son, it's a man and a son. Like, wow, this is heinous, this is crazy. Because usually, in a lot of cases, even though with the Pop Smoke murder, you had some older guys and some younger guys. A lot of times we think that it's primarily just young guys with this dumb stuff. However, my generation was really just as dumb. I probably could even go further and say that my father's generation was just as dumb as well. But I can't speak from firsthand knowledge on their generation. I definitely see the repercussions of their behavior in my father's generation, and I'm sure many of you do as well. I can only speak for my generation, those born in the early 80s, the late 70s. We were just as dumb. We didn't have social media, but we were just as dumb. There was a lot of violence, a lot of killing, a lot of foolishness, a lot of stupidity. So you had self-destruction. We're all in the same game. Stop the violence. You had the same call decades ago in the early 90s. And the things are still going on now. And they're exaggerated because of social media. Right? And the reason why all of this is problematic and why I'm highlighting it is how do you solve the problem? People keep approaching the problem with the same mentality that they had decades ago, and it didn't work then. It didn't work. Not only did it not work, evidently, if my children's age group, my generation, and now their children, right, are falling into the same foolishness, evidently, something is not connecting. Something from the mind to the actions, to the results, it's not lining up so that things start to change in a more positive direction. I can't get into all of the details of how that works in this one video. I just want to highlight and use this situation of this man, right? This middle-aged man, or pre-middle age, or early middle age, or whatever, and his son, right? These people at this age, they're not maturing, or rather, like that guy, he hasn't matured. He hasn't done the work in life, and other people as well. But most people don't give credibility to that way of looking at things. That are you maturing? Are you growing and moving along in your understanding of the world and behavior in a positive, constructive, not even normal, positive and constructive way based on certain values and principles that are useful and helpful, healthy and valuable to society? Are you doing that? No. And we've been failing in that since decades ago. So to think that we're going to change things by making excuses, by pointing the finger at people who don't have control over what we have control over, right? We have control over ourselves and we have control over our culture because we are the members of the culture. We are the ones in the culture who can say, do this or don't do that. That's bad. That's good, right? When someone does something they shouldn't do, are we going to make excuses for them? Like I see many people doing on social media these days. When somebody does something just totally heinous or something that's just plain wrong, and then you have a whole swarm of people making excuses for the wrong they've done. So all of the people making the excuses are breathing life into the bad actions and the bad behavior, therefore the negative outcomes. It didn't work decades ago. It's not going to work now, and it's going to get worse in the future. You can see the timeline, the progression we've seen from the 80s to the 90s to the aughts, as they call it, to now. They've been singing "Stop the Violence." They've been saying this in this community of people, hip hop community, Black American community, and the greater American community. So this idea that, well, you can't make the change or grow positively or turn course or do a course correction because the powers that be or white supremacy or so forth, which is excuse making. And I'm gonna say this last thing and I'm gonna stop of why that's excuse making. If you look at every major tradition, and most people, if they themselves are not still Christian or Hebrew Israelite or Muslim or nation, I think the nation knows better, but all of these traditions, you never see any tradition, ancient religious tradition that teaches people about God and morality. You never see in the guidelines that it taught people the same type of mentality that you see people practicing now. It didn't teach atheism, materialism, immorality, what they call it, moral relativism. It didn't teach these things. It taught the rectification of the human through understanding right and wrong and practicing proper morals, right? Respect God and then respect the world that God constructed. Because if you do this type of action, you get a negative result. And you do this type of action, you get a positive result. Respect your elders, respect your neighbors, respect the rights of other people, right? Only you can control yourself with respect to other people. So when you understand that the respect that I need to have and hold, I extend to others, and I'm responsible for what I do. Through understanding like this, that's how individuals become a collective, become a community and society that matures and is better. But excuse making, never holding people accountable, and this type of mentality, it's not going to change anything. It's only going to change when people get back to the old ancient traditional morals and values. And that's why we see a lot of what we got now. And the people who push this mentality, this ideology of moral relativism, or we would all just be in heaven if it wasn't for the evil government. We would all just be in heaven if it wasn't for the evil billionaires. We would all live in paradise if it wasn't for the evil white people. Those people are lying to you, and they're misguiding people, and they are the ones who help to continue the wrongdoing and help to allow you to stay down the wrong path. And you see, every time somebody get murdered, you get all these people coming out. Oh, when's it gonna stop? I'm so tired of this. Blah 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 blah. Right? Go back and look at the ancient traditions. It said it. Matter of fact, do not do this. Thou shalt not kill. Right? Or as it says in the Quran, don't take a life that you don't have no right to take. Don't shed the blood. You didn't put the blood in the body. You don't have the right to take the blood out the body. You didn't put the soul in the body. You don't have the right to take the soul out the body. It's not yours to take. You didn't put it in. It's not yours to take out. Don't do it. So dancing around the issue as opposed to just telling people right from wrong is the reason why we got what we got. In short, it's a large topic, but I just had to get this off my chest because it kills me to see these stories, and it kills me to see people making excuses and not understanding the hard yet obvious realities. So that being said, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I know my channel is still under construction. I got another channel that's a little bit better, but this is my new channel. It's going to get better, but I wanted to put this out there. Peace.